Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. These are going to be Mercury retrograde messages for my dearest fellow Virgos. So Virgo, Mercury went retrograde on May 29th, and really it started back in the middle of May in the shadow period, but it's going to station direct on June 22nd. So this is the most classic of classic Mercury retrogrades. It's in Gemini. So, it's all about receiving and channeling. It has scanned and translated, transmitting energy of mind and thought to everyone. This Gemini Mercury retrograde is a snappy multi-mix of details that'll stir up your thoughts and have your synapses firing at really high speed. So it really is a time to be wary of signing contracts, getting new jobs, making large purchases. And for those of you who may be getting married in June, just be prepared to go with the flow and go over every detail and prepare for delays and frustrations, and no matter what you do. All right. It's also very important that you communicate with intention, you guys, because Mercury retrograde, as many of you already know, is a time where there can be, misinformation, misinterpretations, misconceptions. They can happen really easily. So it's important that you check where the house where Mercury falls in your birth chart while it's retrograde and the area of your life that will be specifically affected. So for example, if it's the 4th house, then, it will be family and home that's most affected, home and family matters. Okay. Now also for those of us in the northern hemisphere, but wherever you are, this retrograde falls at a period in time where a lot of restrictions are being released, and there's sort of this frenetic, even manic spree as we're coming out of quarantine life. And so it's really going to ask us to be discerning and to protect ourselves. Tap into the skills that we cultivated at high stakes during the pandemic, okay? And ones that need to be revisited as we kick off this maybe reckless but beautiful summer of love, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into this, my dear Virgos. Virgo being ruled by Mercury, you guys are going to be feeling this energy pretty strong, okay? So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull some numerology guidance cards for some overall energy before I get into your reading. While I'm doing this reading, Virgos, I'm just going to ask that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the description box for ways you can get a private reading, and if you like the cards I'm using, I have them listed and linked in order of appearance. Feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. All right. So we get spiritual career. 78 breaking down to a 15. Some of my Virgos, you guys are leaving behind a day job or something that you don't find to be fulfilling any longer. And you are thinking about moving into some sort of healing energy, healing work, whether that's, reading tarot, whether that's Reiki, acupuncture, massage. But I think also a lot of my Virgos, whatever it is that you're doing, you're recognizing that you bring a unique power to it. And it's important to shine your light, to work your light in no matter what you are doing. Whether you're an accountant, you're a plumber, you work at a grocery store, you're, I don't know, you're a yoga master, a yogi, whatever it might be. I see you bringing like a very special spiritual knowledge and wisdom to your daily life. Wow, number 77, spirituality. So some of my Virgos, they're showing me the Hermit card. Some of you guys are going on a spiritual retreat, or maybe you're looking at the pandemic as your spiritual retreat. You're coming out of it a completely changed person. Somebody whose focus is not so much on the 3D. I think people are going to start noticing that. So it's something really funny about Virgos. A lot of people, and I'm not knocking anybody in the pandemic who felt like they were floundering or didn't get a lot done. I mean, that there's nothing wrong with that. But most of my Virgos out there, you give Virgos a pandemic or quarantine and Virgos get something done. You like write the autobiography you've always been wanting to, you know, you've organized, you know, your whole home with like spreadsheets and charts, you know, your dreams, your goals, your desires. You have the most detailed storyboard, but many of you guys maybe even started, you know, businesses during the quarantine. I'm just getting that, you know, a lot of you took this time to up your spiritual game. And, you know, I don't think you wasted any time at all. Not to say that anybody out there really did truly waste their time, but what I'm saying is, my Virgos, you guys really capitalized on this past year or so. Yeah. Okay. And we get nature. 74 breaks down to an 11. So this is obviously a nod to Virgo energy, earth energy, getting out in nature, appreciating nature. Some of you guys are either planning or went on a powerful, I'm going to call it a pilgrimage. You may have been called to go somewhere like that is known for spiritual properties, or, you know, on certain ley lines, and just trust wherever you've been guided that there was most likely a really powerful activation for you guys. Heart chakra, I'm also seeing third eye and crown chakra really being activated for my Virgos. And it may be something that's happening during this Mercury retrograde. So we get teaching and learning. So there's that Hermit card. My gosh, Virgos, you know, I'm not surprised because I know you've been busy. It's hard to, you know, Virgos are really one of, if not the most hardworking sign of the zodiac. And you guys have definitely gone through or are going through a major spiritual up-leveling. All right, so important numbers. We get to look at all of these sevens. So not just 77, but each one of these numbers begins in the 70s. And I promise you, I have shuffled this deck. I've done 3 readings before yours, and we didn't get all of these 70s coming out. So some of you guys, these could be the years that you were born: 74, 77, 78. 11, 14, and 15 may be important to you as well. Some of you guys made a big shift from like working in an office or for a large corporation, and you're doing something that's much more holistic. That's what that wanted to come out. So what this retrograde is bringing into your life, some of you guys, you may have lost a friend. I'm not picking up on that this person crossed over, but there may have been somebody that you had differences with. It could be a friend, it could be a lover, it could have been a relationship that kind of fizzled out really quickly. Now, do be aware of starting relationships during Mercury retrograde. They can often burn very fast and furious. And they're usually in our lives for as lessons more than anything, but you may also have somebody coming back in to offer you an apology. Okay, just be careful because, you know, this person, you know, is somebody who, you know, in the upright, you know, they're offering, you know, fish and sustenance and something that you need, something that's going to nourish you, nourish your soul. But in the reverse, just be careful, okay, because we don't know, you know, how long that fish has been out of the water or out of the refrigerator or whatever it might be. The aspect of your life that's going to be most affected. So we see, so whatever it is you're dedicated to. So it could be a long-term relationship. It could be a job. I'm getting for a lot of you, it's a shift in careers. Okay. How can you minimize the damage or the negative results of this retrograde? Trust. Trust in your path. Trust that the work that you've done, you know, and I love this because look at this, it's like a boy, this person, whoever it is, they're outside working in nature. Some of you guys realize that that's where you need to be. Like some of you guys are absolutely not putting on a suit and tie ever again. Or maybe not ever again, but you know what I mean? Like you're just like, I'm not going back to my pre-quarantine life. You know, I realize that I'm much more fulfilled, you know, as a fill in the blank, right? But I think it's actually you. I mean, we see this person barefoot. We see them shirtless. We see this person free. But we also see this person trusting in their path and what they're dedicated to. And that may be very different than what it was, you know, a year ago or 6 months ago. So we see what lessons need to be learned during this period. Tower. Yeah, Virgos, what is going on? You guys are shaking everything up. But I actually see you being okay with it. So Virgos, normally we're not really okay with change. You know, we're very dedicated, we're giving, we're very service oriented. But so you've been enlightened in a huge way. And for some of you guys, you're dedicating yourselves to like humanitarian efforts, to, you know, more ecological friendly ways of living. Some of you guys are moving off the grid. Good for you. Everybody should try that at least once in their life if they can. Yeah, I mean, but for many of you guys, this is like the pandemic just shifted everything for you. And whether it was the pandemic, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be, but I feel like it's a result of like some sort of tower moment, some sort of shift. So whether you lost your job, whether you were just forced to stay home, whether it was a relationship that came to an end, it very well could be, because the Page of Cups feels like an apology coming in. You know, maybe you owe someone an apology. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you just dropped off the face of the earth, Virgo. You went total hermit mode. You went on a pilgrimage. Some of you guys went to live in the wild. This is a very specific message, but for others of you, it's about taking it figuratively, not literally. Some of you guys just changed. Your energy shifted as you've gone through this enlightenment. And as we're awakening, Virgo, we can't tolerate the things of the past that either no longer serve us or that feel toxic or that just don't feel good. It's what you guys hear me talking about a lot on this channel is your path is narrowing. So it's like your tolerance for, you know, whether it's processed foods or sugary beverages or alcohol or you know, or certain people, radio programs like we're in the 1950s. Maybe some of you guys. Sorry, I just got confused there because radio programs, where did that come from? You know, but like podcasts, TV shows that you watch, like all of that, like as you guys are going through the enlightenment process, as you guys are ascending, that stuff changes. Now, it doesn't mean you don't have a guilty pleasure, like watching, you know, like vampire shows or soaps or whatever it is, you know, or, you know, reality TV or whatever it is. It doesn't mean that you don't do that on occasion, but you notice that your tastes change, that you become more sensitive, okay? And that you can tolerate less BS, less toxicity. That's from people, that's from coworkers. Those are people too, right? Most of them. I don't know why this is being such a goofy reading, but you know, my guides are just being silly. I guess. I don't know. I'm sorry. I have no idea why I'm like laughing right now. But you're just no longer willing to tolerate people and situations that don't feel good. All right, pull it together. The next card is what part of your past you need to reflect on in order to aid and heal in your journey. I don't know why I'm about to crack up. I don't know if you guys are laughing about something. I don't know if you're laughing at this reading. Okay, but maybe, you know, it's interesting. I did this, I read something about why we laugh, and this is just a little tangent I'm going on, but somebody needs to hear it. We laugh for a lot of reasons. It's actually a built-in biological process to relieve stress. So for example, you know, if we're in a job interview and we're like, and we get like that nervous laugh, it's because we're stressed. We're naturally releasing that energy. If somebody falls down and hurts themselves, I mean, have you guys ever like started cracking up when you really shouldn't have? And it's not because you're mean-spirited, but because it's a place of worry. You know, maybe you didn't know what to do, or, you know, surprise. When we're surprised, that can be fear or that can be worry. And so we laugh because of that. So I don't know, you guys, some of you guys, you're just releasing stress. Maybe that's why you gave me the case of the giggles. Okay, but the part of your past that you need to reflect on is your determination. So my personal healer, when I first saw him or started working with him, it's over a year ago, if not more. My idea of time, you guys, is it's just not linear anymore. So I have a hard time remembering these things. But you know, the first thing he asked me is, do you know the difference between stubbornness and determination? And that's what I'm asking my Virgos right now. Do you know the difference between stubbornness and determination? because there is a difference. And the Nine of Wands tells us there is a risk of burnout. There's, you know, you may be playing with fire here. I just see some of you guys, you quit a job, you left a relationship, you moved out to the middle of the woods, you're on like a, I keep getting like some of you guys might be on like a silent retreat or something like that. Like you guys are like pretty hardcore with this spirituality journey, which isn't surprising me. But there is something here about taking a look at patterns of, you know, do you have a risk of going too hard and then exploding or burning out? You know, so for example, like, you know, I used to, I don't know why I'm like sharing so many stories, but I used to, you know, I would tell, when I first started dating guys, I'd be like, not guys, sorry, this is like such a ridiculous reading. I started dating someone, I said, just please don't let me start working 3 jobs, because that's when, you know I've sort of gone off the deep end, because I have that tendency to work a lot, and then I'll get another job because I feel like I need to work more, and then another job. So it's like, you know, if I just remember saying that, and there's this pattern of working until burnout. And I feel like this is happening to some of my Virgos out there. And that led to a tower moment, or may lead to a tower moment. So just keep that in mind. Okay. 8 of Swords in reverse. So this is beautiful. This is like releasing stress, coming out of restriction. This is about also coming out of a self-imposed prison. And that's what I see here, Virgo. I see you really focused on your spirituality, allowing yourself, giving your permission to have fun and to be free. Okay. Overall energy, Queen of Pentacles, comfort. Many of you guys have a considerable nest egg, okay, to do that, because you have worked up to this moment. You know, and I do feel like also the Queen of Pentacles, I think there's also a major glow up, Virgo. I mean, I think you look different, you know, whereas you may have been sort of like, you know, go into the office every day and under fluorescent lights, and now it's like you're looking good, you're getting a little tan, a little bit of that beautiful golden brown or whatever color you get when you're in the sun. You know, it's just like this energy of like being healthy and being really balanced. Okay, so I do apologize about this sort of long and really chatty. Again, I've got a lot of Gemini and Virgo in my chart, so with Mercury in the mix, it's like, all right, story time. I hope you forgive me. All right, Page of Cups in reverse. So what will retrograde bring into your life? Justice. Beautiful. So some of you guys, there is like, whether it's an ex or it's a family member, a friend or somebody, they're coming into your life and they're offering you an apology. It's karmic justice. It's what maybe needed to happen a long time ago. You might be apologizing for someone, to someone. I mean, you know, it might be like, you know, it might have been something that you've been putting off, and you finally do it. But I see a lot of my Virgos, whether you're literally doing it or it's figurative, you're like tying up loose ends because you're off. You're setting yourself free. You're like, this is what I got to do. I'm paying my bills. I'm paying off my debts. I'm saying sorry. I'm saying goodbye. And, you know, you're like, I can't remember what was that movie, Into the Wild or something like that. But it's just, it's not going to be that all of you are moving off the grid, but you're setting yourselves free, Virgo. Yes. All right. The aspect of your life that is going to be most affected. So for many of you guys, it's going to be work. Yeah, some of you guys, you're setting yourself free from a toxic situation, a relationship, because I really do feel like you've gotten some sort of major upgrade and you're seeing here what is worth your time and effort and what isn't. And there may have been a particular situation that was either making you feel jealous, making you feel less than. It could have been a situation. And for many of you, I'm not even picking up that it was a long-term relationship. You know, you might have just been dating somebody or seeing someone here, but they were bringing you drama. And I think that you were trying to fix it. You were trying to be balanced. And then you just were like, you have this aha moment, like, I don't need this shit. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm getting, Virgos. You're setting yourselves free. All right, so how can I minimize the damage? Trusting in yourself. Judgment, yeah. Wow, higher perspectives. Look at this. Justice and judgment, Virgo. You're up-leveling in a huge way. This is a very, very spiritual reading. You can't go backwards, and you know that. And there's certain people and situations that just can't accompany you on this journey. It's a solo journey, Virgo. And I mean, not for all of you. Some of you guys are in beautiful relationships and you're not leaving these relationships, but it's this inner journey that you're taking. Okay. The lessons that need to be learned during this period, Tower, total shift. Look at that. That's you quitting your job. That's you not not dedicating yourself to a relationship that isn't giving back or that isn't aligned with you. You know, that's you, that's you going off the grid, whatever it means for you, Virgo. Again, it's not going to be literal for all of you. For some of you, it very well might be. What part of your past do you need to reflect on in order to heal and aid in my journey or in your journey? Your determination versus stubbornness. Why were you holding on? Why were you putting so much effort into this if it wasn't fulfilling, right? And I also get, for many of you guys, this is burning the candle at both ends. Okay, this is, you know, not giving yourself the rest period until you got to a Tower moment. It's this overflowing, this bubbling up of, you know, I'm doing too much, I'm taking on too much, I'm too stressed. All right, this could also be gossip. Again, this is Mercury retrograde energy for me. So just speak and communicate with intention. Not everybody's going to understand what you're doing. Not everybody can, Virgo. You know what? That's okay too. You know, you can say, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm sorry you might not understand it. I don't see you hurting anybody or leaving anybody hanging. I just see you doing you, Virgo. Okay, and you're just freeing yourself up. Okay, you've made a decision and it is spiritually and divinely guided, Virgo. You're letting go. I mean, this whole reading, Virgo, I would love to see how this resonates for you guys in the comments section. Seeing here with this deep knowing card is there's something that your intuition has been telling you for quite some time. And I think you've been ignoring it and you're no longer willing to ignore it. You're no longer willing to take orders. You're no longer willing to dedicate yourself to something that just isn't in alignment with who you are. Yeah, but I get, Virgo, you have a really strong foundation. So I feel like you're taking, it's not just, it's not about taking unnecessary risks. And remember, this doesn't mean that you do this in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is bringing this all up to the surface to see what you need to change, what kind of life you're building for yourself, what kind of life you want to build for yourself. And I feel like many of you guys, you may have been too 3D focused here. With this deep knowing card in reverse, you weren't tapping in, you weren't sourcing your wisdom from within or from your higher self. You weren't sourcing your wisdom from those who had come before. You were doing what you thought you were supposed to do, and you're changing that. And you are becoming the architect. You're closing out difficult cycles here. Yeah, and you're being, it's a brave move, Virgo. It's a brave move. All right. Okay, oh, I saw Cupid's arrow there. Some of you guys, I also saw addiction. I see paradise. Some of you guys are going somewhere beautiful, very warm. Some of you guys have been obsessively thinking about what to do or about a particular situation. Some of you guys have been workaholics and you're just saying no. Yeah, spirituality got a grip on you, Virgo, and it has changed you in a really big way. Cassette. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Yeah, some of you guys, it's like you're realizing that with this 5 of Swords. You're like, you've been overthinking something, or somebody's been bringing you a lot of drama, or maybe you just feel like you're really stuck in the rat race and you're just like, really? There's something way bigger out there for me. There's something better. Yeah, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child. You're growing, and we see that. We see the spirituality card, spiritual career. You guys are really experiencing a lot of growth here. Okay, spiritual growth, career growth, and lightning. So we get double confirmation. So this is happening fast, Virgo. Sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. Yep, you cannot toe the line anymore, Virgo. And nobody knows that better than you, or those of you that are resonating with this reading. We get Kutumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Trust is coming out. Trust what you know. You know what is best for you, Virgo. You know what is best for you. And it's not whatever this is that you're leaving behind, whether it's a job or it's a group of people or it's a relationship, some sort of drama. You're looking out for yourself. I think you've tried to work on this or try to fix this person or this situation, or, you know, you may have even given people fair warning, like, you know, I'm not getting paid what I'm worth, or, you know, this just isn't working for me. And I feel like a lot of people maybe didn't listen, or this person didn't listen. And, you know, you're giving your permission. You're setting yourself free, Virgo. Some of you guys, you're off to paradise. You're like, you know, oh, you're going to go live barefoot on an island for the next year or something like that. But again, it's not going to be literal for all of you. It's going to be figurative. Okay. I've done that too. It's well worth it. Okay. Sometimes what you seek is as simple as being still and staying focused. All right. The beauty in nature can be the answer to what you seek. Reconnect today. Yep. So some of you guys, it's about getting back to basics, getting back to nature. Yeah. And some of you guys, like I've been talking about, going off the grid, you know, buying one-way tickets to, you know, foreign lands. Okay. Living on an island barefoot for a year. You know, that's all well and good. It's not necessarily a reality for all of us. Okay. But you know, you have to take it how it resonates, what works for you, Virgo. It's not what works for me. It's not what works for or worked for your mom or your dad or your brother or your husband or your wife. It's really what works for you. Okay, there's this massive shift taking place, and it's happening fast, and it's happening big. And then we get every being has free will. Stop trying to control the situation. And that's you as well. I think you're done taking orders. You're done being controlled, whether that's by a person, whether that's by a job, whether that's a boss, whether it's just what you think you should be doing. Wow. So Virgos, I'm going to leave it there. This was a fun little story hour. So I hope you guys are still with me. I hope you enjoyed that. Sending you lots of love and light.